Hello, everyone. This is Sharon. First, I would love to say to everyone out there today, Happy New Year. We made it, folks. We are actually in 2012. I am so excited, due in part because it's a new year. There's just new possibilities, new things to do, new things to try. And number two, in just a matter of days, in the month of February of 2012 of this year, it will have been 5 year, folks. 5 years that I was first diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. I don't know what to do. I'm still speechless sometimes when I sit down and really think about it, which is why I don't sit down and think about it very long, because it is a very um, riveting thought to dwell on, and I don't want to do that. I want to live. I don't want to focus on the thought that I have cancer per se. So it's a good year. I hope it's a good year for you. And I wanted to speak about a good way to go into the new year. I believe um, I think it's the best, one of the best ways you can. And I'll tell you why. And which brings me to this latest posting of this particular video in the new year. I've had so many people's paths who I have crossed paths with, who have become really wonderful friends. And I've had many, many people who are really going through lots of major, serious challenges that I have to say, knock on wood, I have yet to experience. I'm hoping to say I can be as strong and courageous as they are when I do face those. But I have so many people ask me, how are you doing this? How are you managing to live with your stage 4 cancer? This is a cancer that my family was told to make preparations for me. That's how deadly this particular cancer is. And here I am 5 years later. So I'm not going to dwell on that. Although I am happy and I could shout it to the moon every time. But it brings to mind, people have asked me, what am I doing? I'm not really doing much of anything, folks, but just living is the best way I can put it. One day at a time. I don't plan anymore. I don't plan in the distant future. Oh, I'm going to do this in 10 years. I'm going to accrue this much money in so many years. I'm going to be here in so many years. I don't plan in that manner anymore. So I do live in the here and now as much as I possibly can, because that may be all I have. Cancer is funny, particularly stage 4 cancer. It's funny, and it can turn in the blink of an eye. So I've got to take advantage of the time that I have. But getting back to what do I do, and I'm not suggesting to anyone to do these things, but I'm offering it as just a possible way of looking at all the options that we can have. It's just a matter of how we perceive it, how we accept it and invite things around us into our lives. For me, the first thing I have to say I had was faith. I had faith, I still have faith, that for as long as I'm supposed to live, I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to be reveling in my life. I'm going to make life joyous, not only for myself, but for others, people that I meet. I get great joy in that, informing, bringing happiness, sharing. I had to have faith that everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen. Secondly, but just as important, is I think we have to remove stressful situations out of our life. Now, I'm not saying stress from how to get to work. I'm not saying stress on how to pay the bills. I'm not saying just everyday stressful things, because life is stress if you think about it. But I'm saying those stressful situations in which you actually have control of and that you could actually remove out of your space or out of your life. That's the type of stress I'm talking about. Now, granted, it won't be an easy thing to achieve. I had to do that, and it was some very difficult choices that I had to make in order to remove that stress. But, folks, it is my belief, just from my experience, that one of the major reasons I am still here is that I had to focus on living, on healing, and stress just didn't fit into that picture. No matter how hard I tried to make it fit, it was like putting a square peg in a round hole. It just wasn't working. So, unfortunately, as we always realize when a life changing situation arises in our life or something where our life is on the line, literally, um, that did not hit me until I did. Um, my life was touched with cancer. So once the cancer came into my life, I had to quickly make some changes if I wanted to survive. I'm still making changes daily. It is a work in progress. So, just for the sake of time, I'm going to cut it short and I'm going to offer you rather, some suggestions on what I think would be a good way to start your new year. I would say it's stress and cancer. If you're living with cancer, or if you know someone that's living with cancer, I would say stress and cancer do not mix. It's like oil and water. So stay tuned for my next posting. I'll get more in depth on the discussion of that issue. I think it's very important, and still remember, it's just my experience, but I'm willing to share it if anyone out there thinks that they can gain something from it. That's all that I can do, but I'm happy to do it. So I will touch base with you all later. Thank you for tuning in as always, and I'm just Sharon, and I'm happy to be. Happy New Year, everyone. Love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.